Man, it's Saturday afternoon, and I'm finding it to be a very difficult time to get motivated. I had 2 cups of coffee, I had a cup of orange juice, and I am still not ready to go. And quite frankly, I would have taken the day off, but if I took the day off, then I would end up feeling bad about not uploading the podcast. There really is no top story as far as like SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver. We discussed literally everything and anything as it concerns what's going on next weekend. I figured I'd talk about this briefly. I don't want to spend too much time on it because quite frankly, I don't even give a shit. But I want to take some time to talk about this CM Punk Colt Cabana situation. And I want you guys to use this as a lesson learned. Never put yourself in a situation where you're loaning money out and you have a feeling that you're never going to see that money ever again. Never put yourself in a situation where you owe a lot of money. Meaning, don't go gambling, don't rack up credit card bills, be responsible with your money. I would never, ever again give out and help anybody unless I've known them forever. Meaning Sean or my friend Pete, money, and put myself in a situation where I feel like I'm going to get fucked over. Unless it's them or someone that I've been dating forever or a family member, my brothers, Mike and Frank, or my mom and dad. I would never put myself in a situation like that again. Because I've had personal instances where I've loaned money out and I wanted to genuinely help these people. And still to this day, I haven't seen a dime of this money that I am owed. I wanted to talk about this because it's a really fucked up situation with CM Punk and Colt Cabana. Now, they were best friends. They're best friends no longer. We all know what happened with the CM Punk WWE lawsuit with Dr. Amann and Colt Cabana and how Punk won that. And now, Colt Cabana is turning around and suing CM Punk over legal fees stemming from that lawsuit with Dr. Amann. Lawsuits right now between these two, done. Their friendship is over. You'll never see Colt Cabana and CM Punk in the same place ever again, cordially speaking to one another on friendly terms. This has been one of the biggest wrestling stories of the year, and it was a defamation lawsuit filed by Dr. Amann against Punk and Colt Cabana. So Dr. Amann had sued CM Punk and Colt Cabana for defamation. Punk was suing WWE and Dr. Amann because of the negligence against Punk during his time there before he walked out. The two of them, Punk and Cabana, were found not guilty after a long legal battle, meaning they were free and clear. However, despite the lawsuit being out of the way, it now turns out that there is another lawsuit between Punk and Cabana themselves. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Cabana is now suing Punk for a total of $1.2 million for legal fees and punitive damages. Punk has told Cabana that he will not be paying for Cabana's half of the legal bills, though Cabana claims that Punk said he would in a verbal text message. While the two of them originally agreed to work together, Punk eventually told Cabana via email that he would not be paying for Cabana's legal fees. Now that the lawsuit is over, Punk wants half of the fees from Cabana, who is suing, saying Punk promised to cover them. This is the email that Cabana received, and I quote, "To date, I have $513,376 in legal bills. My outstanding current bill is at least $300K. Half of this is yours. divide the 513,376 by 2, and that is what you owe me and what I expect you to pay me. Starting now, I will no longer be paying your bills. You are on your own. Whatever my bill is currently will be cut in half, and half will be yours. If you choose to make all of this ugly, that's fine too. I hope you won't, but I gave up on you doing what is right a long time ago. End quote. Now, the other excerpt I want to read is from Sports Illustrated. This was Amon filed a defamation lawsuit in February 2015 for comments Punk made during appearance on Cabana's podcast with Punk, the only podcast that Punk had been on, about Amon's medical treatment. Sports Illustrated, Nihal Kolor provided an excerpt of Punk's comments against Amon, and I quote, this was back in 2015. After the European tour, the whole European tour, I'm dry heaving after every match. I'm on all fours after every match, and I'm either puking for real or I'm just dry heaving because I don't have anything in my stomach. I have no appetite. I don't know what is up and what is down. I can't sleep. I can't fucking train. Doc is giving me, like, oh, you're sick. Here's a Z-Pack. The Z-Pack they gave me didn't work. They Z-Packed me to death so much that in December I defecated in my pants on a SmackDown show because that's what antibiotics do to you, right? Punk left WWE in January 2014 after spending 8 years with the company. He has competed in the UFC since leaving wrestling, going 0-2 in 2 bouts with the UFC. I'm going to say this right here, right now. If Punk wanted to not pay Cabana, if he wanted to just move on from this and tell Colt Cabana, listen, go fuck yourself. You have your bills, your fees, you take care of it yourself. End of story. Wash your hands clean of it. But what Punk did, he led Cabana on by verbally agreeing that he was going to help him out during this entire ordeal. He was going to help Cabana out and then retracted what he originally stated and told him to go fuck himself pretty much. You take care of yourself. I'm worrying about me. I'm not helping you pay your bills. If Punk's attitude and mindset was not wanting to help Cabana, then from the very get-go, the very first thing that he should have said is, I'm not helping you. But he went on to say, I'm going to help you. And I am no lawyer. I am not in the law field. But I understand they didn't sign a contract. But Punk and Cabana verbally agreed. There's a binding agreement in the text message. If the text message is real, we don't even know. We don't even know. We haven't seen the text. We won't know of the text unless they go to court. But there's a legally binding, I would say, verbal contract there. If the text message can be showcased from Punk saying this to Cabana, there's a binding deal there in which it's going to be very difficult for Punk to win this case if that is the case. There's a binding deal there. You can't go back on that and say, yeah, fuck you. Can't lead somebody on like that. You know, Punk did Cabana the favor of coming on his podcast and saying whatever he needed to say, needed to get his story out there about the Dr. Amon stuff and the WWE stuff. You know, a lot of traction was built off that one Punk podcast. More new eyes, more new people, you know, found their way to Colt Cabana's podcast because of CM Punk. It was the biggest podcast of that year. It was the only podcast that Punk has ever done. I don't think he sat down with anybody outside Ariel Helwani for UFC. That was the only thing that Punk did. Everybody thinks Colt Cabana is some big shot podcaster. He ain't making money off the podcast like that. He's not making enough money to pay his fucking legal bills. His wrestling career is certainly not enough to pay his legal fees. He may be an indie legend, but that's not going to make him some sort of multimillionaire like Punk is. Punk clearly has already stated in several interviews that he's very frugal with his money. He is very careful with his money. And Punk has the money to help out his friend. He said he would help out his friend and then retracted the statement and said, I'm not helping you. You can't do that. You can't do that. Punk said something to Cabana. Apparently, it's in text form. Cabana says that there is proof about that. You can't go back and retract that statement. If Cabana has proof of that text message, Punk is going to lose this case if they go to court. It's going to be very difficult for Punk to walk out of that courtroom a winner. And it's fucked up. It really is fucked up. And it goes to show you, don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. You know, maybe it's a lesson learned for Cabana. No matter how long you've known somebody, it is very difficult to trust anybody in today's world. And maybe Punk is really a dick. Maybe all the rumors about Punk being a dick is true. This clearly doesn't help his case whatsoever. But maybe Punk wasn't ever really a friend to Cabana to begin with. And it's a real shame that, you know, Colt comes off as a genuine guy, a friendly guy, down to earth. And he's promised something from someone that he's known forever. And then this guy, Punk, comes around and fucks him over. If Cabana has that text message, it's going to be very difficult to have anything go in Punk's favor here. That's the extent of it. There really is nothing else to discuss on this story. There is nothing else to discuss on this story. Don't promise somebody you're going to do something and then retract it. Especially if it's in a text that could be saved or screenshotted. Don't do it. Now, if it was a sense or a case where Punk said it verbally and there's no evidence of this being said, well, it's going to be difficult to, formulate some type of fucking evidence here. You know, that would be like, oh, you said this, I said this. There's no proof of anything going on. It's up in the air. Disappeared like smoke. You know, it's a real shitty situation, man. And like I said, there really is nothing else to really discuss about it. Really is nothing to discuss about it. Yeah, Punk helped Cabana out. You know, got his podcast out there. And, you know, he's helped him with his wrestling career. This has nothing to do with that. This is just being a good human being. This is being, respectful. And being trustworthy. Punk isn't coming off trustworthy. Punk isn't coming off being respectful. He isn't even coming off being a decent human being. And it's a shame that, it's gotten to this. And it's a shame that, like I said in the beginning, Punk and Cabana really aren't going to be associating themselves with each other forever. It's done. Money is the root of all evil for a reason. Money has gotten in the way now of these two guys and their friendship. After the win, after the victory over WWE and Amon, it might have been a bridge slowly building itself back to friendship. And here we are. That bridge has now forever burned. Don't ever get involved with money in this instance. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you owe money. Don't put yourself in a position where you are waiting to be repaid on money. You're never going to see it. You're never going to see it. Unless it's family, respectfully say no. And if they get mad at you, then they don't really give a shit about you or your well-being to begin with. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let me know what you guys think about the Punk situation. Let me know what you guys think about your feelings toward Punk. Are you siding with Punk? For the very few of you that might. Or are you siding with Cabana? I'm on Cabana's side here. The podcast and Cabana's podcast has nothing to do with what's going on here. Punk helped Cabana out in that sense. But anybody knows that that's not going to help Cabana pay his legal fees after all this. I'm siding with Cabana. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is Off the Script, episode 234. We're going to run through the rest of the news this weekend. I doubt that there's going to be news for part 3 unless something major breaks. But right now, I'm going to give you everything I have right here on episode 234. This is part number 2 of this weekend's Off the Script.
You know, it seems like an eternity that the House of Glory officials and Austin Aries have been trying to get on the same page to make this happen, and now the time is here. August 17th, it's going down. But as part of the deal, I get to call my own shots. I get to make the matchup. And now about 2 weeks out, the House of Glory officials are sweating. They want to know, Austin Aries, what's your match? Well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm all about doing things that have never been done before. I'm all about creating opportunity. The Impact World title will be defended. Against who, you ask? Anybody who wants to step in the ring with me. It's an open challenge. House of Glory, bring your best. Anybody in the New York area, step on in the ring. The invitation's open. Austin Aries, the Impact World title. House of Glory ring, August 17th. Who's gonna step up and answer the challenge?
Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese!
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Johnny! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com!
This is Off the Script. SummerSlam is just a week away, and I definitely want to get involved in the festivities, whether it's doing a meet and greet or it's just being somewhere and just taking everything in for SummerSlam, whether it's TakeOver or the event itself on Saturday or Sunday. I've been very hesitant to set up a meet and greet because I don't really know how many people would come on out. Being that SummerSlam is literally a train ride away, all I have to do is hop on the 6 train, and then probably I think I go to the 5 train and then get to Brooklyn and the Barclays Center. But I want to do something, but it's always a case where I kind of develop some sort of small anxiety because I don't know how many people would legitimately come out if I did something on my own. And I found a place that's like 3 or 4 blocks on Saturday that I would do something, like a little hangout. Craft beer place, we could do it before TakeOver. And I want to know how many people would come on out. If you're going to be attending SummerSlam, if you're in New York, you don't even have to be attending SummerSlam. You could be doing the meet and greets that WWE's going to be doing at the Barclays Center. Or you could just be hanging around the city. Or you may be from Brooklyn yourself. How many of you will legitimately come out if I do something on Saturday? If we get a whole bunch of people together, find a spot with some fine craft beer, decent food, hang out for a little bit, and then you guys can go to TakeOver if you're going, and then I can head home and watch TakeOver. So let me know what you guys are thinking about that if you are interested in that. But I do have something for Sunday. It was just announced on Twitter yesterday that Justin LaBar, my buddy Justin LaBar, and my buddy Ticket Drew Badalla, is going to be at 205th. Again, we were there last year with Solomonster, and we did a big Q&A. It was great food. There were drink specials. It was a fun time. And then they went to SummerSlam, and I watched SummerSlam from the bar. So if you guys are interested in coming on out, we're going to be doing the same thing again this year. I don't know if Solomonster is going to be a part of it. I'm working with him on Friday for House of Glory, but I don't know if he was asked again to come on out. But it's definitely going to be me, Ticket Drew, and Justin LaBar at 205th from 4 to 6 p.m. right before SummerSlam. 205th, we're going to be doing a big Q&A. We're going to be doing a meet and greet. So if you guys are going to be in town on Sunday for SummerSlam, come on out to 205th. It's going to be free to enter. There's no cover charge. Any age could enter because it is a restaurant. And you guys can come meet and greet. We can hang out. We could chit-chat. You could take part in the Q&A. It's going to be great. And Justin told me that there is going to be wrestling-themed food and drink specials, which he's going to get me the information on that by Monday or Tuesday. So, if, again, you guys are going to come on out to this, there's going to be a whole bunch of fun to be had. And if you guys are going to be in town, I would greatly appreciate you coming on out to 205th on SummerSlam Sunday, right down the street from the Barclays Center, man. So come on out to 205th. Me, Ticket Drew, and Justin LeBar from 4 to 6. I'm going to be there a little bit early. I'll probably be there around 2:33. So you guys can come on out, meet me. We'll get the party started before Ticket Drew and Justin even get there, man. Hope to see you guys out there. And make sure you're wearing some anti-Roman or Summer Scam t-shirts. I'd love to see that, man. Thank you guys so very much. Oh my God, is it fucking hot, man. It's raining here in New York City. It's nothing but rain this weekend, and it's hot and humid. The rain is actually making everything worse, and I'm fucking sweating my balls off here. But we're going to try and get through this podcast the best that we can. If you missed yesterday's show, if you missed yesterday's podcast, we went over the Paul Heyman interview and WWE airing footage that was not seen on Monday Night Raw. And it's hinting possibly towards a Roman Reigns heel turn. If you guys missed that video, that is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of your screen. So please make sure you guys go and check that out. We also talk about Jason Jordan and his injury being worse than WWE has expected. So he's not coming back anytime soon, which sucks for the reformation of American Alpha. Sucks for Chad Gable. But apparently it's worse than WWE had realized. So we talk about that as well. We also talk about the G1 Supercard, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Ring of Honor selling out already. 8.5 months out. Selling out Madison Square Garden. And what does this mean? And my stance on whether it would have been a sold-out show with or without WrestleMania. We talk about that as well, so please make sure you guys go and check that video out. Link in the annotation. I would appreciate your support on that. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. Some great stuff to open up this weekend's Off the Script. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. We are almost at 96,000 subscribers, man. I'd like to be as close to 100,000 before All In as possible. So please make sure you guys spread the word of the channel and spread the word of Off the Script. If you guys want to support the show, man, we got the new t-shirts available. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Summer Scam t-shirts are now on sale. Thank you guys so very much. Everybody that has ordered one, I want to personally thank you. Thank you all so very much. They are gorgeous. Summer Scam t-shirts now available on Barbershop Window. They come in two different designs. One that you see there with the black, old school yellow SummerSlam logo on a black shirt. And also it comes in a baby blue with black trim. I used to love that old school SummerSlam logo, man. And my boy Sal Rex nailed it. He had a fucking grand slam with this design. Awesome, awesome stuff. Remember, SummerSlam is actually happening on Saturday, August 18th. Summer Scam is actually happening on Sunday, August 19th. Please make sure you guys are aware of that. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off your purchase, man. So thank you guys so very much. There is now in total 17 designs on Barbershop Window. Harrys.com/script. Make sure you guys get your free trial shave set, blade, handle, gel, and protective case. All you guys have to do is pay the shipping and handling. Harrys.com/script. Thank you guys so very much for supporting Harrys. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys want a free audio book of your choice and 1 month free of Audible service. There you go, man. They're giving it to you for absolutely nothing but just some minutes of your day. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. Over 200,000 audiobooks to choose from. A lot of them are wrestling related. But if you guys don't want the wrestling related stuff, you guys can have anything you want for free just for signing up. And it's a great way to support the show. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. SummerSlam.com/offthescript. And this Friday, tickets are still available. Limited tickets are still available. High Intensity 7, August 17th, Friday. Pre-show with me and Solomonster. So if you want to come on out and meet Solomonster for the very first time, JD and Solomonster working together on a pre-show. How awesome is that, man? Plus, you're going to get Austin Aries defending the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. You're going to get Amazing Red versus Anthony Gangone for the House of Glory World title in a no-ropes match. Sami Callihan will be defending the Crown Jewel Championship for House of Glory. Against Low Key, LAX will be defending the House of Glory Tag Team Championships in a fatal four-way. It is going to be insane. Enzo Amore is going to be there. And a major surprise that I don't even know is going to be announced on the show. So please go get your tickets, man. HOGWrestling.net. Come on out to the NYC Arena on August 17th. Tickets starting at $20. Bell time. I can't even fucking speak. Bell time is 7 p.m. Meet and greet starts at 5 p.m. Man, come on out. It's going to be great. And I hope to see you all there, man. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. Let's get into the news, man. Again, this is one of those stories that I really wish I didn't have to report, but it could be very big if WWE lets it get big. Because this is some pretty damning statements made here by Court Bauer as it pertains to Randy Orton and sexually inappropriate behavior by Randy Orton to WWE creative staff members. WWE has issued a statement to everybody now on the Randy Orton situation after this story first emerged on the MLW podcast, episode 41 with Court Bauer. And now WWE is looking into this matter. The story that was told back in 2012 by Court Bauer on MLW podcast, episode 41. It was entitled episode 49, Ribbing and Junk. Alleges that Orton would expose himself when he saw a new writer. Now, I don't understand. Am I reading this right? The story that I am reading about Court Bauer and Randy Orton was reported back in 2012. So it's one of those instances where someone dug up some old shit and now they're bringing it to light in 2018. You can't leave well enough alone. So this is episode 49, Ribbing and Junk. Alleges Randy Orton would expose himself when he saw a new creative writer. The podcast is part of the MLW VIP archives, but gained traction this week in a post on Reddit by user Carter Voorhees 31. And there's a reason. You want the reason why I fucking hate everybody who uses Reddit? There you go. A bunch of fucking no-lifes sitting in some dark room conversing with people that they don't know because it's all they have. That's all Reddit is. A podcast back in 2012 now brought to light because some fucking idiot goes on social media and wants to, have his 15 minutes of fame. I'm not saying I agree with Randy Orton, but, people go to the extent of ruining somebody for what? Or trying to attempt to ruin somebody for what? Does it get you off? I don't understand this shit. I quote, "For every new writer that would show up, he comes in the room, puts his hand down his pants, pulls out his cock, touches himself, and then says, 'I'm Randy Orton, shake my hand.' And then when they don't, 'Oh, you don't want to shake my hand?' It sounds like something Andrew Dice Clay would say during one of his stand-up gimmicks. He would go on to say, Randy Orton would say, 'You're big-leaguing me? That's fucked up, man. Should I tell Vince and Stephanie you won't shake Randy Orton's hand?' This was all according to Court Bauer. Court Bauer also says that writers would start sweating and backing up into a corner while Orton exposed himself. Bauer says it almost happened to him on the first day with the company, but he was lucky because Stephanie McMahon walked in the room. Yeah, conveniently, Stephanie McMahon walked in the room when you were about to meet Randy Orton's cock face to face. It was described as something like the teacher entering the classroom. Bauer was hired by WWE in 2005, so that is when the alleged incident would have occurred. So now we're going back to 2005. But Court Bauer talked about this in 2012. For those of you that can't listen to the podcast, you can go to the Reddit page. I'm sure he's this fucking Carter Voorhees has a link. Episode 49, Ribbing and Junk. It's in the podcast area for MLW, and it says, Randy Orton pulling his cock out in front of writers backstage at WWE shows, ribbing newcomers in companies, is the description of the podcast. Oh my God, man. You know, this could be taken one or two different ways. One, back in the day in 2005, nobody's going to make a big deal about this because, you know, the state of the world back in 2005 is not the state of the world in 2018. People were a little bit more lighthearted back in 2005. It's like when I watch a Married with Children episode, and I see and hear things that would never get across on TV nowadays because people don't have a sense of humor. You know, people are just so sensitive about everything. But in 2005, this would have been taken as a, I would say, like Freshman Friday. You know, you ever go to high school and it's the first Friday of the new school year and everybody's talking about Freshman Friday, how the seniors are going to bully the freshmen, wedgies, and they're going to steal their lunch money, or they're going to take their textbooks and hide them somewhere in the school so you can't find them. Meanwhile, you show up to class and the teacher's like, oh, Mr. JD, where's your textbook? Well, some senior goon took my textbook. You know, or you go buy lunch at the cafeteria and all you got is fucking, a few quarters in your pocket. What happened to the dollar bills that your mother left you with earlier in the day? You got taken for in the fucking in the schoolyard right before the bell rings for homeroom. It's one of those deals where it was nothing but a rib. It was a Freshman Friday like prank, a welcoming committee. Randy Orton and his cock was a welcoming committee. This was Randy Orton back in 2005. Okay? This was young, idiotic, stupid, immature, you know, thinking he's king shit Randy Orton because of his father, Randy Orton, back in 2005. Randy Orton now wouldn't be doing that if, A, Randy Orton would never be allowed to do that. B, repercussions would have been had now if this was a fresh incident, you know. Thirdly, Randy Orton is a husband and he's a father. So Randy Orton now is much more, you know, mature. He is a locker room leader. He is a face of that company. He's one of the guys there that you look at who has the most longevity there. Randy Orton is a senior member of the WWE locker room. If shit is going down, Randy Orton's going to be there. You know, this was back in 2005. And now we're making a big deal about this in 2018. Come on. This is ridiculous. If this was now, honestly, it shouldn't have been done, period. I don't know what goes through anybody's head, okay? I'm not siding with Randy Orton here. You know, I'm not saying that what Randy Orton did was right. I would never, you know, allow anybody to do that. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of, you know, sitting there doing my job and Randy Orton comes in showing me his fucking cock. I don't want to see that. But, again, it was in 2005. Why are we going to damn the guy on something that happened in 2005? It's 2018. If it wasn't made a big deal in all these fucking years, why are we going to make a big deal about it now? Because some fucking idiot on Reddit wants to go and fucking start trouble? Poke his nose in business where it doesn't belong because he thinks he's some fucking Reddit hotshot? You fucking clown. I'm not saying what Randy Orton did was right, but this has nothing to do with Randy Orton now. WWE is going to look into it. I'm sure whoever's there in 2005 is no longer there on the creative team in 2018. But you got to be careful about it. We don't know if there was any females on the creative team back in 2005. You know, that could have been a bigger issue. Imagine this happening now, and WWE has a female creative writer, and Randy Orton comes waltzing in 2018, flashing his fucking cock everywhere. Me Too movement. You know? Everybody wants to cry victim. Oh, Randy Orton sexually assaulted me with his fucking penis in my face. This shit ain't gonna fly in 2018, but it was in 2005. Can we cut the guy some fucking slack? You know? Xavier Woods was damned for the fucking sex tape with Paige, right? Everybody seemingly swept that under the rug. Nobody's talking about that now. Xavier Woods has a newborn child, or at least has a child on the way, whatever. Married. His relationship seems to be doing okay. Tom Phillips sending nudes to some fucking Instagram female that he's talking to. Home wants to hook up with him when he gets to her city. Meanwhile, the guy's got a fucking wedding band on his finger. He's just newly engaged, right? Seemingly just swept that under the rug, right? Now we're going to damn Randy Orton for this one? Something that happened in 2005? Come on, people. There are things going on in this world that are more important. Randy Orton flashing his junk to creative writers in 2005 hardly speaks to me as important news. Or news that we need to make a big deal of. Oh, I'm disgusted by Randy Orton. Am I going to look at Randy Orton any differently now after what happened here in 2005? Of course not. I don't fucking care. As a fan, I don't care. If Court Bauer has an issue with it now, all of a sudden, 13 fucking years later, that's his problem. From WWE, I'm sweeping this under the rug. This is nothing. Now, like I said, if there's a female on the creative team and they come out saying that, oh yeah, Randy Orton flashed his fucking cock in my face, I got an issue with it, that's a whole different story. Forget about it. But if Randy Orton did that now, I'm sure he would have been... You know, normally you'd be fired for something like that. I think Randy Orton's one of the untouchable guys there. How many violations has he had? Drug policy violations has he had? You know? They say he had 2. Gotta be more than that. And Randy Orton's been known to puff the magic dragon. But WWE could have easily fired Randy Orton back in 2005. They could have got rid of him, taught him a lesson. But they didn't. So, Randy Orton in 2018, I don't think Randy Orton in 2018 has anything to worry about from this incident. Was it right? No, it wasn't right. But it's 2005. If you're going to dig up old shit from 2005 and make it a big deal in 2018 when nobody gives a fuck about it, you know, who the fuck are you? Carter Voorhees, 31. Why don't you go fucking watch your anime? Go watch your fucking Japanese porn with anime porn. Whatever the fuck these fucking no-lifes do on social media, you fucking clowns. Gotta go on Reddit and try and ruin somebody's fucking career. Guarantee if Randy Orton wasn't on television, this wouldn't have been made a big deal. But now everybody's talking about Randy Orton. Oh, let's get Randy Orton back in the headlines for no fucking reason, for the most negative reason possible, because he flashed his cock in front of everybody. Give me a fucking break, people. Give me a break. On a more positive note, WWE is looking to sign 3 more independent stars. We made mention of Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. God, I hope they stay where they are. Can you imagine Pentagon Jr. in WWE? Jesus Christ. The guy would be put on 205 Live. Actually, he may fare well on 205 Live, but Pentagon Jr. is better than 205 Live. Come on. So is Phoenix. Phoenix could be the next Rey Mysterio if given the opportunity. Now, as everybody knows, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, their contracts are up in a few months. There's no secret that WWE wants them because they're afraid. Competition is looming, people. Competition is looming. Ring of Honor has already stated that they will do everything that they can keep. They will do everything to keep, rather, Rhodes, the Bucks, and Kenny Omega. And New Japan is hoping to keep Omega, but they will have tough competition because WWE has more money to spend with their new TV deals that kick off in the fall of 2019. We talked about this yesterday with MSG selling out New Japan G1 Supercard. And how I think it would be a sellout with or without WrestleMania weekend. I think people are, not really giving New Japan a lot of credit. I don't watch the product. I only watch it when someone tells me I need to watch a certain match. I haven't watched any of the G1. Fuck me, I know. But, I think people are really underestimating the power of New Japan. Selling out MSG, I don't give a fuck if it's WrestleMania weekend or not. Selling out MSG, period, is a huge deal. And I don't think people realize how big of a deal that is. This is a non-WWE company that sold out MSG in days for a indie promotion, quote unquote. Now, I label New Japan, New Japan really is an indie, but I label it, I usually just come out with the word indie when I mention New Japan because it isn't in the States, it isn't WWE, and, fuck me for having that WWE mentality. It's, a promotion that really isn't well known to everybody. I'm not going to be calling New Japan indie anymore. It's unfair of me to do so. They just sold out MSG. They ain't indie. They're not indie. And people are like, well, Ring of Honor sold out New Japan. Ring of Honor sold out MSG with New Japan's help. Ring of Honor wouldn't have done that themselves. Well, fuck Ring of Honor for being good, smart businessmen. They have a partnership with New Japan. Why the fuck wouldn't they promote New Japan? Fucking dumbasses. That's what you get for being a good businessman. Ring of Honor has a working relationship with New Japan. There's no reason why they shouldn't. This gets New Japan promotion. This gets Ring of Honor promotion. It's good for everybody. This show would have sold out regardless if it was WrestleMania weekend or not. Dave Meltzer is reporting this week that WWE is getting very aggressive when it comes to taking talent off the board. And it's clear that they have taken notice of the attendance numbers for All In and the Madison Square Garden show, G1 Supercard. I've mentioned Phoenix and Pentagon are names that were reported last week. And WWE is also now looking at Shane Strickland, who also worked for House of Glory. And he is working MLW now. He is one of the top stars in the promotion, and it's no surprise that WWE wants to sign him because he is very good. He's also Killshot in Lucha Underground. And he is incredibly good. Meltzer noted that Strickland will be coming in for a future look. Meltzer noted that Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix have told promoters that their 2019 bookings are in question. MLW announced that they will not be on their October 4th showcase at Melrose Ballroom in New York because of circumstances beyond their control. When wrestlers start to pull out of bookings, it usually means that they are WWE bound. The G1 Supercard show for MSG sold out quickly, so you can bet that WWE is going to look at more wrestlers to sign in an effort to keep them away from that show, since it will be going head-to-head with NXT TakeOver. As noted last week, WWE wanted to sign Rey Mysterio before the All In show because they didn't want him on that show, but he wanted to fulfill that commitment. Good on Rey Mysterio. Listen, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. are with Lucha Underground. I think I read they are signed with Lucha Underground through 3 more seasons. So if they are signed to Lucha Underground, they can't go anywhere until those 3 seasons air. And you know how Lucha Underground takes their time in getting their seasons out there. So Pentagon and Phoenix may be where they are right now for the time being. There's no way that Lucha Underground is going to allow these guys to go on WWE television, yet these guys are going to appear on El Rey Network. They're not going to allow these guys to go to WWE. They're signed with Lucha Underground for the foreseeable future. So WWE is going to have to be waiting on these guys. So whether that means Pentagon Jr. is going to be working, shows with Impact or whomever, I don't know. Right now he's Impact. He just had a fucking brutal match with Sami Callihan. I don't think Impact is going to be making waves in the wrestling industry on Pop TV. Yeah, Pentagon is great, but he's not really somebody right now that's going to be making waves for a promotion. Let him do what he's got to do. Let him build his resume. He may be more attractive to you in 3 years when his Lucha Underground contract is up. Same thing with Phoenix. You don't need them now. WWE has more than enough talent right now in NXT and the main roster to do perfectly fine. Right now, it's just, a kid in a candy store. I want this, and you're not going to eat all the fucking candy. You're just going to keep them in the back and keep them away from everybody else until you're ready to use them, if you are ready to use them. Give me a break. WWE is looking at guys right now that aren't going to have any bearing on what they do business-wise. They're just in a mode where they are afraid. They are afraid of competition looming. And if they weren't afraid, they wouldn't be looking at guys like Shane Strickland, who aren't going to make an impact. Or Pentagon. Or Phoenix. You're going to be looking at the top-tier guys. You're going to be looking at the Omegas, the Bucks, the Rhodes. And anybody else in New Japan that you got your eyes on. Juice Robinson is another name that was mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Jay White, I'm sure they're looking at. or anybody else in New Japan that they're looking at. Give me a break. WWE is right now afraid of what's to come in April. Soon as, I mentioned this, as soon as New Japan gets a foothold in the United States on a more regular basis, I would not be surprised. If you put them on a Monday night, I guarantee you they do at least equal to what Monday Night Raw is doing. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Monday Night Raw right now is at its worst state ever. It's the worst it's ever been. And WWE, I don't give a fuck how much money they make. How much money they make has no bearing on the quality of their shows. See, this is what this is what the fucking social media idiots fail to grasp. The amount of money that they are making has no bearing on the quality of television. I've said this for weeks. The more money they make, the worse the shows are going to be because they feel unstoppable. I am fucking drooling over the fact that New Japan gets as big as they do. And bigger. Because at that point, it's going to force WWE to make better shows. The only way WWE is going to make better shows is if New Japan is in the United States on a more regular basis, giving them real competition. Then they'll step up their fucking game. Then they'll start listening to people. Then they'll start giving us a better quality program. Until then, oh, I got billions of dollars from Fox. I got billions of dollars from NBC Universal. Look at me. Ha ha ha. You're going to watch anyway. Because there's no other alternative for you in the United States. I hope there is. That's the only way WWE is going to change. But Pentagon, Phoenix, and Shane Strickland are on WWE's radar. Again, I don't know what Shane Strickland's contract status is. He is very good. Excellent. But Pentagon and Phoenix, they're with Lucha Underground. So they aren't going anywhere for at least 2-3 years. Easy. Easy. That Lucha Underground contract is set in stone. Set in stone. Ricochet couldn't do anything. Ricochet couldn't do anything until his Lucha Underground contract was up. His contract ended after season 3. He was Prince Puma. He couldn't sign with WWE until he was free of that contract. He couldn't even talk to them. Same thing's going to happen to Phoenix and Pentagon. Mixed tag team match was added to the WWE SummerSlam kickoff show. Another idea WWE stole from me? Oh, great! Following last week's episode of SmackDown Live, it was expected that a mixed tag team match would be added to SummerSlam, and now the match is official. Rusev and Lana will take on Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. The match will take place on the kickoff show, streaming live on the WWE Network. Here we are. I mentioned WWE should make this match to open SummerSlam. It's open in SummerSlam. Not the way that I want, but it's certainly open in SummerSlam. How are you going to put Rusev? How are you going to put fucking Almas on the pre-show against Rusev? I don't understand that. The guy goes from giving us 5-star classics in NXT to a pre-show on the WWE main roster. Oh, what's the difference? It's SummerSlam anyway. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Do you want to know why it's not SummerSlam? Because when you go to the WWE Network and you click on the 2018 SummerSlam, are you going to see Almas and Vega versus Rusev and Lana? Fuck no, you're not. So then it ain't on SummerSlam. You fucking illogical goons. This isn't SummerSlam. The kickoff show is nothing but a fucking reason to get these guys on the show because they need everybody to work that day. That's all it is. They don't want to leave anybody off. And at this point, I would rather have this match happen on SmackDown than SummerSlam kickoff show. I don't understand why this is opening the show. This would have been a perfect match to open SummerSlam. What are you going to open SummerSlam with? Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin again? Why ain't that on the fucking pre-show? Why isn't that on the pre-show? Or what about the fucking waste that the Raw Tag Team titles are? Why isn't that on the pre-show? The B Team is going to be on the SummerSlam main card over Almas and Rusev? Whoever makes these decisions in WWE, Vince, go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. This is a disgrace. An absolute fucking disgrace. This is SummerSlam's card right now. Look at the lackluster fucking card that this is. You want to know why I call it Summer Scam? Listen to this shit. Lesnar versus Reigns. We all know how fucking much of a failure that's going to be. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Can't wait for it. The one match out of this fucking bunch that I really give a shit about. Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. Wow. People are getting excited about something that should end in 30 seconds. Carmella versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. The only reason why I care about that match is to see where the storyline goes with Becky and Charlotte. Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. We've seen it at Extreme Rules. Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. We've seen that at Extreme Rules. Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens. We've seen that at Extreme Rules. Do you see a fucking trend here? Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. We've seen it at Extreme Rules. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Something else that I'm intrigued by, but not because of the match, to see what the outcome is, because Daniel Bryan, according to sources, hasn't signed the new deal at the WWE. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship. And then Lana and Rusev versus Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Summer Scam is on Sunday. SummerSlam is on Saturday night. Takeover Brooklyn. What a joke. Almost on a pre-show. My God. The fuck are you people thinking? Really? Austin Aries. Austin Aries is in the news, and not for good reason. Actually, I agree with Aries on this. I don't know why WWE even does what they do half the time. WWE star responds to Austin Aries, and Austin Aries rips him and the company on Twitter. Now, Zelina Vega came out and said that she has not been with Austin Aries. That, clearly there were reports that they were together. Okay? Apparently something happened with them. The breakup was messy. They were an item. And Aries apparently promised Vega that they would get married. He gave her a promise ring. They were together for 4 years. And then I guess the breakup was bad. And then Zelina Vega came out on social media this past weekend and said that she wants no association with Austin Aries at all. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? None of my business. Whatever happened between them two is whatever happened between them two. It's none of our business. But people love drama and people want to poke them, poke their noses in shit that it doesn't belong in. But we all know Austin Aries wasn't happy in WWE. For whatever reason he left the WWE, I don't give a fuck what Aries said on any podcast. I don't give a shit how positive he sounded. They didn't use him right and he left. And it's their fuck up. It's their loss. Because if you neglect A, Austin Aries, and B, don't have any creative logic to book correctly in Austin Aries, then you're awful at your job. You are awful at your job if you cannot book a talent like Austin Aries correctly. Now, Austin Aries was apparently unhappy with WWE's throwback clip of him getting beat up by Hideo Itami on the 2016 NXT TakeOver show. Apparently, Hideo Itami had a great match with, I think it was Mustafa Ali, if I'm not mistaken. A match I didn't watch yet. I have to go back and watch it. I'm not doing my due diligence in keeping up with 205 Live. There's just so much shit going on. It's crazy. But I usually catch up on it a couple weeks after it happens. Now, Aries wrote, in regards to this clip, yes, my reward after giving WWE No Way Jose. And he added him on Twitter. Yes, my reward after giving No Way Jose the best feud and match of his career. My first meaningful win in NXT, and any equity I earned is immediately discredited. And what's either guy done since? Great success? Do not post any more clips of me on the WWE Network. And then he writes in big words, big capital letters, respect. End quote. Now, the line about his equity being discredited was taken by some as a shot at WWE Creative, while others took it as a shot at No Way Jose, who was Aries' opponent before the beatdown from Hideo Itami. It certainly appears, as if you look at No Way Jose's social media account on Twitter, that Jose took it as a shot as well. Now, I don't have a clip of it or a picture of it, but if you go to No Way Jose's Twitter account, and you watched the Avengers Infinity War, you will get the picture that No Way Jose is trying to portray on Austin Aries. It's him kind of materializing and fading away as he looks down in the ring, all sad. Austin Aries. Pretty much saying that Austin Aries is a distant memory, But, fuck No Way Jose and fuck WWE. I agree with Austin Aries in this sense, okay? Yes, WWE could do whatever they want with their clips. It's their catalog, it's their fucking Twitter, it's their YouTube, whatever. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But of course Austin Aries is going to take something like this seriously because he loves the business. And more important than loving the business, Austin Aries has a ton of self-respect for himself. He knows how good he is. He knows what he's capable of in the ring. Of course, Austin Aries is going to take it as a shot from WWE Creative at the fact that they didn't book him correctly. You have Austin fucking Aries in the WWE and you don't know how to book him? Yet everybody wants Kenny Omega to go to the WWE. What the fuck is going to happen? I'm siding with Aries on this one. I would find it to be disrespectful. And he's 1,000% right. What has Hideo Itami and No Way Jose done since then to be looked at in such a positive light? His work is discredited. The work that he's doing now and the life that he's building for himself is discredited, and they're making him look like a joke. Meanwhile, that's not who Austin Aries is now. So of course he would be fucking disrespected, and he would be pissed. Where is his stock in something like that? Not what he's doing now. WWE's acting as if he's below that. Where is No Way Jose now? When was the last time we see No Way Jose on Monday Night Raw? I don't know. I don't even know if he's still with the fucking company at this point. Hideo Itami? All this promise, future NXT champion, big deal they brought him in to NXT. What happened? Unfortunate injuries, yes. But he's on 205 Live. Austin Aries didn't want to be on 205 Live. He's better than 205 Live. You're going to handcuff a guy like Austin Aries on 205 Live? Everybody on that show should be performing on Monday Night Raw. Look at what Mustafa Ali is doing on 205 Live. He is their version of Seth Rollins. You wouldn't want to see Mustafa Ali on Monday Night Raw? You don't think Mustafa Ali could get over with the WWE Universe? Look at how great he's been. What about Buddy Murphy? I don't understand this shit. I don't see why people are upset about this. I am 1,000% in the corner of Austin Aries on this. Now, like I said, Aries' ex-girlfriend Zelina Vega had some things to say about him as well. And like I said, their relationship didn't look like it ended well. And she don't want any association with him. Aries might deny claims that he is known to be moody and hard to work with. But with tweets like this, yeah, he may be moody, but he's also someone that respects the business and, wants to be treated with a level of respect for his work ethic. And he's only right in that. Respect the fucking man and the work that he's done. Don't discredit him with two fucking nobodies. But again, WWE can do whatever the fuck they want on their social media. He has no bearing on that. He doesn't have any say in what they do or what they post. But respect the fucking man. Don't treat him like a fucking joke. You brought him in, you treated him like a joke. Then you wonder why people want out. Anyway, figured I'd just talk about that. I found that to be incredibly laughable on WWE's behalf. Moving on here, man. Like I said, there really isn't a lot of news at all for this weekend's show. I did mention Ricochet. Ricochet is injured. And a lot of people are wondering if he's going to make TakeOver. He will be at TakeOver against Adam Cole for the North American Championship. But it will be interesting to see how much he will be able to do. Because Dave Meltzer noted this weekend that he is hurting. And he's been hurting for some time. He was injured after missing a dive. And this was documented. I remember when this was brought to light. He was injured on a dive at a house show in Paris on June 11th. And then he was pulled from the next show on the tour. Triple H noted that on the NXT TakeOver conference call in Chicago that he tweaked something and he was taken off the road as a precautionary measure. He worked on the TakeOver Chicago show, but has not worked any matches since the TV tapings on 6/21. Meltzer was told that his situation isn't something that is serious, but they wanted to give him time to heal up before the show in Brooklyn. On this week's episode of NXT TV, they had the Undisputed Era attack him before he made his way to the ring for a match on Wednesday night. Give him all the time off he needs, man. Ricochet's too valuable to go out there and risk injury for. We are all anticipating TakeOver. Right now, the match is set. The anticipation is set. The title's on the line. There really is nothing else to be done here. And I would not be using him at house shows. My main priority would be get him ready for TakeOver. Let's get this match right. It could be one that steals the show on Saturday night. And I would not want to risk further injury with Ricochet. Let this guy, even after the match, even after TakeOver, let this guy take as much time as he needs to recuperate and get well so that this doesn't become a more serious issue. But right now, he is dealing with a nagging injury, and something that Triple H says, also Meltzer said, this situation is not serious, but it's still bothering him going into TakeOver. Moving on here, man. Brock Lesnar. Obviously, he is the talk of the town going into SummerSlam with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. And right now, I would say Brock Lesnar isn't the most popular man in wrestling. But a lot of people want to know, and have always wanted to know, what Brock Lesnar makes during his WWE contract, or during his contracted days. So, I have that here for you. And it's quite laughable how much this guy makes in one appearance. To just jump around and, stand there with the championship. Now, at 41 years old, Lesnar, we all know, has the best deal in all professional wrestling. $6.5 million in 2017 for just 35 appearances, which works out to nearly $185,000 per appearance. And he hasn't lost a singles match since November 2016 to Bill Goldberg. Fans have always been curious about Brock's deal with the company, and it seems like the one he signed with the WWE following WrestleMania 34 is a little more nuanced in his favor, if it wasn't already. The new contract is different to his old one after he penned an image rights deal with the company that allows WWE to use his likeness for merchandising at a price of $637,000 a year. The same amount UFC pays him for the same exact thing. Lesnar also receives a 6% cut from merchandise sales, something he made a massive profit from when the Suplex City shirts were very popular. But what a breakdown of Lesnar really earns? According to Dirty Sheets, he is no longer on a fixed-term contract and is simply paid by appearance. This means that the WWE will pay him a whopping $127,000 for every TV appearance he makes, even without wrestling. Those appearances where he just bobs around in the ring, jumping back and forth while Heyman talks, $127,000 a night. For a pay-per-view match, Lesnar makes $637,000 per match, and that's before pay-per-view bonus. Speaking about Lesnar's future, a few months ago, Triple H seemed coy on Lesnar's future. He says, and I quote, "To be honest, I really don't have anything to share in this conversation, and we'll see where it goes. Brock is Brock. He's an interesting guy to be with. Makes it challenging, which is always wonderful, and we're working on it. We'll see where it goes as the time goes on." So he made $127,000 for sitting in the back reading Backwoodsman magazine. He did F5 Kurt Angle, and he did choke out Paul Heyman, but for the majority of that show, he made $127,000 for sitting on his ass, asking for rare steak and baked potatoes and reading magazines, saying to Paul Heyman, "I don't watch Monday Night Raw. Paul, why should I watch Monday Night Raw?" Lesnar, you may hate him, but if I want anybody negotiating a contract with me, I'm going to have Brock Lesnar right there, man. The guy seems to know what it takes to suck out all the money he can from Vince McMahon. Can't blame him. The guy's a good businessman, and he's going to continue to be paid that because he is a major name, and he is Brock Lesnar. And apparently he has Vince McMahon by the balls. Ember Moon. We haven't seen Ember Moon. I was thinking this last night. Where the fuck is Ember Moon? 2 weeks now on Monday Night Raw. No Ember Moon. Why? Is this how you're going to build up a future star of your women's division? I don't understand that. If I have Ember Moon at my disposal, she's on every fucking show. Every show. For a 3-hour Raw, you better believe there better be a fucking Ember Moon. Looks like Ember Moon is being framed or called out for stealing a gimmick from an Impact Wrestling superstar. Now, Kiera Hogan was recently interviewed by Fightful, and I got to praise Sean Ross Sapp. He does some great work. I enjoy listening to him on Monday nights when he does his Raw review. And he revealed that she was at a WWE tryout with Moon in 2015. Hogan pitched her gimmick idea at the tryout, but Moon ended up being signed instead of her. Hogan believes that another superstar was given the gimmick, which is an awful lot like the current character gimmick of Ember Moon that she portrays on WWE TV. She says, and I quote, "I know for a fact I'm the reason she did it. I try not to look at it in a negative way, but in the end, it is a negative because it's something that I did first. Something that I brought to my company first. She debuted it at NXT TakeOver Mania weekend. I saw her come out and my heart literally dropped. I knew what was coming after that. I got tweets, DMs saying, you're the ripoff version, you're the cheap version of Ember Moon. Because she's taken something that I worked so hard to make my own, now I'm the ripoff. In retrospect, it's like you stole something from me. Don't acknowledge me, but I worked hard to get where I am, being the girl on fire, and now I'm the ripoff version of her. It hurts me, and all the work I put into this character, I'm not going to give up. I think the girl on fire thing WWE probably gave to Becky Lynch, but I bet Ember Moon pitched hers. She was at my tryout. I saw her sign her contract. She cried when she signed her contract. After the tryout, she texted me and said, I want to help you get booked on shows. After that, I've never spoken to her, and it's been almost 4 years now. I know she's got the inspiration from me. It doesn't help that we're two black females, so I'll automatically get compared to her. End quote. It's pretty fucked up that, you go on to do big things, and you go to NXT and win the NXT Championship and have a great match with Asuka, and you're the leader of that division for a little bit, then you get called up to Monday Night Raw, and you seemingly forget about everybody that you were with on this journey. I don't like that, man. I don't like hearing that shit. That shit bothers me. I would never forget anybody that helped me get where I am. Ever. But as far as gimmick stealing, it's a common thing in wrestling. You know, there's this shit going on now that I hear. You see Leo Rush on WWE 205 Live. You know, Leo Rush was in House of Glory. Leo Rush wasn't like that on the Indies. Leo Rush wasn't like the way you see him on 205 Live in House of Glory or in the Indies. He got inspiration from somebody in House of Glory. He actually got inspiration from Cashflow Ken Broadway. Now, when Cashflow makes it to NXT, because I know he will, because he's that fucking good, and he makes it to the big leagues, which I know he will, because he's that fucking good, and he has this gimmick, he's going to be known as the rip-off version of Leo Rush. Meanwhile, nobody knows what happened years ago. Cashflow's been doing the gimmick and the money flying and the rappers and the gold chains and being the millionaire before Leo Rush even made it to WWE. So this type of thing happens in WWE. It happens in Impact. It happens in wrestling. But what are you going to do? You're going to fucking bitch, moan, cry about it? Oh, she stole my gimmick. Okay. You crying about it is not going to change Ember Moon's mind about saying, yeah, I stole this gimmick. Let's go another route. Ember Moon has her career set. That's what she's going to be known for the rest of her career. The girl on fire. So what are you going to do, Kiera Hogan? You're going to bitch, moan, rant, complain about it on social media? Or are you going to go back to the drawing board and reinvent yourself? I would have more respect for someone with a creative mind who's going to reinvent herself after something this damning is accused. You know? Go back to the drawing board and reinvent yourself and show her, listen, I don't fucking need you. It's at a point now where you are in a position where you need to prove yourself to everybody. I don't fucking need Ember Moon. I don't need you. I'm successful with or without your friendship. Let your creativity show. You know? Don't sit here. You know, if she stole her gimmick, it sucks. It sucks for Kiera Hogan that Ember Moon stole her gimmick. What are you going to do? Nothing can be changed now. You know? It's a business. It's a business. Every man and woman for yourself. You know, Jim Ross, one of the things that I always go back on with Jim Ross, it's, no matter how many years you spend in this business, you're going to have many, 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 many acquaintances, but the real people that you can count on in this industry after your career is over, you can count these people on one hand. You'd be lucky to walk away with one or two really, really great friends in this industry. Because it's literally a competitive industry, every man and woman for themselves. And it's always down to two things. It's either creative or cash. Those are the two things that Jim Ross has always mentioned in his podcast. You know? And there seems to be an instance here where it's, you know, one of those deals where you can't trust anybody. You can't trust anybody. If Ember Moon and Kiera Hogan trained and journeyed together, and Ember Moon did take ideas about this gimmick and apply it to her and forget about Kiera Hogan, hasn't spoke to Kiera Hogan in 4 years, is she really your friend? No. It's every woman for himself. She wanted to get where she wanted to go, and she fucked everybody else. She forgot everybody else. It is what it is. Part of the business. Comes with it. You know? Same thing in life. I worked retail for almost 13, 14 years. I never made friends with people that I work with. I never went out to drink with these people. I never went to their fucking homes. I never dove into getting to know these people, personal shit about these people. These people were merely there. Every single day I went to work, and then 5 o'clock, done. I go home. I don't think about these people until the next day at 10 a.m. That's all they were. Because I knew if you're working retail, more than likely, your days are numbered. You're never going to be there. You're not going to be there for the rest of your life. Why make friends with these people? Why get to know these people? Why drink and converse with these people? Why get to know their family lives, their kids, their wives, their husbands? Why? Because I know I wasn't going to be there for all that long. Either I was going to get fired or I was going to find something better. So there's no reason in putting in extra effort to get to know somebody when they are just there for the time being. I never made friends with people in retail. I don't talk to one person outside of a few select that I keep track of on social media. The girls that I used to work with at my last job. That was it. But other than that, I don't talk to anybody that I work to in retail. Because it's one of those things that's just a revolving door. You're here one day and you're gone the next. There's no reason to get upset when they leave. Because it happens to everybody. I'm getting out of here, man. That's off the script this week. I don't have anything else at all. Unless something breaks, you ain't going to get anything for Sunday. But what I will give you on Sunday is a live stream. I'll be live streaming on YouTube. I'm going to be streaming Black Ops 4. So we'll have fun with that for a couple hours. So you guys can anticipate that on Sunday afternoon. As of right now, that is all you get for off the script this week. And unless a major story breaks or multiple stories break where it can cover an hour, I'll give you guys something. But until then, it doesn't look likely. So thank you guys so very much for everything this weekend. This has been Off the Script, episode 234. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Please subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell on for all notifications. If you guys missed anything, please check out the annotation that you see in the top right corner. Off the Script Part 1 yesterday, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Off the Script Extra, talking about Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. 2 Call of Duty live commentaries for Black Ops 4. So please go and check that stuff out. If you guys want to go buy a SummerSlam t-shirt, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys enter in coupon code BSHOP20. Save 20% off all your purchases. Harrys.com/script. audibletrial.com/offthescript. High Intensity 7 coming August 17th. First time ever. Solid Monster and JD working together. Get your tickets. HOGWrestling.net. And please, if you guys want to support the podcast, patreon.com/JD206. Tomorrow, Cutting Corners coming to House of Glory's YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed over there as well. I will be interviewing Evander James, the man who lost to Sami Callihan just a couple of months ago. See you guys for the Black Ops 4 stream tomorrow on YouTube, and I will see you guys right back here next week for more WWE content for SummerSlam week. I'll talk to you later.